Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Friday. Okay, guys, welcome back to Up and Adam Channel 2. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And obviously, you guys know we pour all of the extra content into this channel. So this channel needs to be a little bit more prioritized because if you are not getting enough Bravo content from Up and Adam Channel 1, this is like the spillage, the spillover, the extra, but still not less than. Okay. So we have a little bit of a mashup here between Beverly Hills, Potomac, and OC, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. If you guys haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, let's jump right in. We do it. All right, guys, we're going to start with the Emily Simpson of it all because this makes sense. Thank you to realityt.com. Alexis Bellino may not be on the Real Housewives of Orange County cast trip, but she is still causing drama, and Heather and Tamra are standing behind her. And Emily Simpson, thank God, is questioning why. Why are they not backing Shannon Bedore in any capacity? But as Tamra distanced herself from Shannon, she also started backing Alexis. And the deeper Alexis got involved in the drama between her fiance, John Jansen, and Shannon, the more Tamra seemed to go to bat for her. Heather is another curious case. She's not taking a strong stance one way or another, but Emily and Gina Kirschenheiter, meanwhile, are pleading for compassion for Shannon. The drama is making the London trip hard to enjoy. Us Weekly was treating OC viewers to an exclusive sneak peek on the fallout from that discovery, and this is what Shannon said. I talked to Gina about that text that I found from 2018 where Alexis said, we are suing you and Tamra, and you will hear from our attorney. And Gina said, that's between you and her. And honestly, I'm very confused why Tamra and Heather are consistently team Alexis, is what Emily said in a confessional. They give her a free pass on everything while they hold Shannon to the fire on everything. But back in the eye of the storm, Shannon addressed Tamra very directly, and she said, you seem to just want to put out that I lie or want to point out that I did this. Please stop talking about me. But the Two T's in a Pod podcast co-host responded by asking Shannon to stop talking about me. And Shannon went to the bathroom. I don't know what Tamra's motivations are, but I know for certain one of her plans is to ruin this trip, is what she told producers. Tamra's main goal, it's obvious, is to hurt me. And from this point, we can pretty much tell this is not going away anytime soon. I do think that Tamra went there with an agenda. I think that Tamra knows the assignment. But Shannon is kind of getting a little bit of her own laugh right now, I think, because Tamra came out with a very premature diagnosis from a one-time therapy session. And it's not something that you get diagnosed with in a one-time therapy session. She said that she was told she was on the spectrum. If she is, okay. I think that there are obviously avenues that you go through, and if you're autistic, and I'm not well versed in that, but what I do know is I have a family member whose child is autistic, and it's extensive testing. It was extensive testing to get to that point, to understanding what that meant. So for Tamra to just prematurely jump ahead of herself and say, I'm on the spectrum, and are you sure, Teddy, you want to know? It was like, Tamra, come on. Like, I know there are so many other better ways to get attention, and I am not blasting Tamra. I don't know who she talked to. I'm hoping she gets a second opinion, but also I'm hoping before she jumps ahead of herself next time, maybe she does her research or gets more feedback from medical professionals before just making these claims, because a lot of these communities that are autistic or have autistic family members or friends, this can be highly offensive to them. And that's for real. So on top of that, thank you to All About the Real Housewives. Karen Huger is requesting for her DUI to be dismissed due to an illegal search while detained, but it's been denied by a judge. According to People magazine, Karen Huger filed paperwork on July 11 to suppress statements and evidence from her DUI arrest, as she incriminated herself during a custodial interrogation without being read her Miranda rights. In the filing, the OG of OP, insisted the evidence seized in this case was obtained as a result of an illegal search and seizure. The defendant was told she was not free to leave, is what Karen's lawyers wrote in the motion. She was not read her Miranda warnings, indicating that the information she would provide them would be used in the filing of criminal charges against her. However, on July 25th, the judge denied Karen's request, citing that based on past Supreme Court cases, the Real Housewives of Potomac Star's roadside investigation did not require police to read her Miranda rights. The defendant's statements were not obtained as a result of custodial interrogation because some of her statements were made while emergency medical services personnel were treating the defendant for potential injuries. This is in the ruling. The defendant's statements made during this time were free and voluntary and were stated out loud while in the presence of police officers. Additionally, statements made after the defendant was examined by EMS personnel were not obtained as a result of a custodial interrogation because the defendant's subsequent statements were made while the defendant was temporarily detained pursuant to a traffic stop. The defendant's statement should not be suppressed, and the defendant's motion to suppress should be denied. But in March, the Grand Dame of Potomac was charged with driving under the influence following a car crash in Potomac, Maryland. And the Bravo star has also been slapped with numerous traffic violations, including negligent and reckless driving, to driving way over the speed limit and driving with a suspended registration. According to police, Karen struck a median and crosswalk sign at an intersection before continuing on and colliding with a parking sign off of the roadway. But this isn't the first where Karen has been charged with driving under the influence. It was over a decade ago, long before she started on Real Housewives of Potomac, where she pled guilty to driving while impaired by alcohol, and she received probation. Oy. Well, speaking of the courts and the legal of it all, does not stop. Nope, it keeps going. It always keeps going. Again, thank you to Reality T. Crystal Kung Minkoff and her husband Rob are going to trial over her brother's alleged car crash. Crystal is due in court over her brother's alleged crash, and she will be present for trial in the Los Angeles Superior Court alongside her husband Rob Minkoff and sibling Jeffrey Kung. Crystal quit the show after 3 seasons, or she was fired, I'm not sure. During that time, her close bond with her brother was well documented, and now the trio will stand against a lawsuit filed by a woman allegedly hurt in the incident. It was In Touch magazine that revealed that the lawsuit was filed by Candace Rod in March of 2023 against Crystal, Rob, and Jeffrey, and a jury trial is set to commence on May 25th, 2025. According to court documents that In Touch obtained, Candace claimed to be driving her 2018 Audi Q3 on November 13th, 2022, and she said she was rear-ended by the defendant's vehicle. Jeffrey was supposedly at the wheel, is what TMZ reported, and Candace claimed he exited the vehicle after the collision and admitted that he was distracted. She's seeking unspecified damages for all alleged past and future physical pain, mental suffering, loss of enjoyment of life, disfigurement, physical pain, inconvenience, grief, anxiety, humiliation, and emotional distress. And there's no word yet on if Crystal will be discussing this mess on her new podcast. But the trio of defendants responded by denying all allegations in the lawsuit, and their attorney stated, defendants allege that if Candace suffered or sustained loss, damage, or injury, as alleged in the complaint, such as loss, damage, or injury, was proximately caused and contributed to by Candace and failing to conduct herself in a manner ordinarily expected of a reasonably prudent person in the conduct of affairs in person. Candace's recovery herein is diminished to the extent that Candace's damages are attributable to Candace's negligence. Now, Rob, Crystal, and Jeffrey petitioned the court to dismiss the lawsuit, and they did not want to pay the plaintiff any monetary compensation, which is in the documents. So the court has issued for all parties to attend the trial. Okay, guys. Well, with that, I gotta go catch a flight. Not feelings. Catch flights, not feelings. But I will see you guys in a little bit. Smash the like button. If you guys are not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys.